Right, people, I accidentally just pressed start streaming instead of start recording. What's going on? It is Wednesday, the 15th of July, and this is going to be going over the one trade I ended up taking today to a win. We had a winning trade. I closed it off early. I'll get into that in a minute. So, what are we looking at coming into the day? So, into the day, we're trading inside of this 4-hour gap. So I was originally looking for longs. Obviously, we had PPI, market opened, got straight through inverse this 5-minute gap, and then just kept just falling down. So I was like, I'm not going to try catch a falling dagger. I'm going to catch some sort of continuation, which I did. Waited for 10 a.m. to open, and then we manipulated into this 15-minute bearish gap. Perfectly swept the equilibrium and formed an external SMT inside of the gap. We also had, what are these drawings? Yeah, so we had an SMT inside of this gap. Perfectly sweeping EQ, 50% extension of the leg down, followed by a smooth 1-minute inverse to the downside. I entered stops at the high, take profit at the low, entered with 4 micros. We only entered this at 3:15, so we waited very patiently for this setup. This is 10 a.m. open here, so if I was looking for longs, that would have been a limit order, but we blasted through 10 a.m. open, which is why I went break even at this internal low, because 1, we're trading into a bullish 5-minute gap. 2, we're about to hit 10 a.m. open, which means if we're bullish, we'll respect this. And 3, this is the internal low. So entered here on the tap, got a semi-decent entry, was just going to take it down to this low, New York AM low, which would have been a perfect 1 to 2. However, my actual target was this, which ended up getting hit, but I didn't take it, which would have been 164 points. This was 50% or EQ of the leg up starting from 4 o'clock this morning. So that was my final target, because obviously market's got a rebalance. What does it normally do? It goes to rebalance. And we've just had a perfect V-shaped recovery out of it, so that further proves my point. But we came down to here, and then ES, if we actually take a look at ES, which is what I was doing, ES came and swept these highs. I was like, well, I may as well take a winning day over nothing. So I closed my trade about here. I closed my trade about here for about a 1 to 1. Maybe even less than a 1 to 1. Yeah, that's a 1 to 1. We risked like 350, up 250. So not even a 1 to 1, right? I closed manually because I thought something's better than nothing. However, we are on an eval, and then we just decided to dick straight down to my first target. I was like, okay, it's a bit annoying, but it's fine, 92 points. And then in 2 more candles, we go another 70 points, and take out my final draw. A little bit annoying, however, clear day. I was very patient. I actually got bored. I was just sat here watching Rick and Morty, doom scrolling, waiting for a setup. Finally got one presented to us, and it paid. But we have only taken 1 trade a day on this account. We're at 1.5k, which means eval is halfway to the profit target. 1.3k Monday, £1.40 yesterday, 241.12 today. Not the best day, because this could have been, right, if you think this was like 700, we could be like $200 away from passing, which is very annoying. However, we know that it's worked. It's worked every day this week. This was just an unfortunate emotionalness got in the way, because the thing is, though, we came down, hit our break even, trading inside of a 5-minute gap, and then you see ES come up and make a new high. Come on. Like, what? But we did get a perfect break and retap of this 10 a.m. open. So could have had limits here, stops at this candle, and then targeting the 50%. The Powell's trade would have netted you 5.2 R on that. But I'm happy with the amount I risked. I'm glad it's a winning day. Eval is officially halfway past in 3 days. If we could pass it by the end of this week, that would be unbelievable. I'm not going to put pressure on it, but by the end of next week, I'm hoping to pass it, because we're feeling disciplined, we're feeling good risk management, we're feeling calm, collected, neutral. And yeah, did they just give us? No, I thought that was an internal SMT after sweeping 50% with a 1-minute IFVG. That would be textbook longs. But yeah, winning day. I can't complain. I was correct. I correctly predicted the financial markets again. So, also, I do apologize if you can hear the fan in the background, but that is how I ended up making 241.12 on the day, halfway past on the eval. Lovely jubbly. One trade a day, sticking to our rules, staying very, very patient. And yeah, one win, one break even, and one manual close so far on this account. Lovely stuff. Right, and with that, I will see you guys later. Market conditions seem to have gone back to what they were, which I'm very happy about. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you took this or something of the equivalent, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.